Hey guys, what's up? Okay, so I wanted to get on here and make a video about shadow work. Okay, this is things that I have learned myself over the past year. Okay, and some of what I have done. Okay, to propel my healing journey, because it's very important, right? That we heal individually so that way we can heal collectively, right? I don't have enough room. So I'm going to talk about like what shadow work is, okay? I'm sorry, let me move some of this stuff. I should have done this before I even got on here. Okay. So, shadow work. Okay, what it is, what the benefits are of it, what are, some of the effects of suppressing our shadows, okay? Hold on, guys. Okay. So, shadow work is a part of ego death, essentially. Shadow work was first talked about with a very famous psychiatrist named Carl Jung, okay? But he spoke of how the shadow is parts of our personality that we have tried to hide, repress, that we shove deep, deep down, in the depths of our soul. And we do this, our ego does this to protect us, okay? So a lot of time our shadow forms from going all the way back to childhood, right? So say for instance, because as children we are very much reliant on our guardians, our parents, our guardians, right? And so we become very attached to them and how, their beliefs, right? So say for instance, as a child, maybe your parent would scold you for being outspoken, an outspoken child, right? And maybe you were scolded for that. That, made you think in your mind, well, being outspoken is a bad thing. So you would start repressing that. You wouldn't be outspoken because you associated that with, well, my parent won't love me if I'm outspoken, right? So you would repress that. So that's just like one example of it. There are so many ways that our shadow can, we all have different shadows. Okay, we all have the same ones and we all have different ones. But it comes from a place of fear, of being ashamed, things that we don't like about ourselves, or things that we're afraid that the public may not like about us, okay? So therefore it takes away our confidence. It takes away our ability to love ourselves individually and others as well, because whenever we repress our shadows, a lot of times, look, whenever I first did shadow work, which was about a year ago, right? And I remember the first assignment, whatever, that I did, the question was, because I always did the shadow journaling prompts, right? Because that's the easiest way to try to pinpoint or wound map where your shadow lies and what triggers it. Okay. But I remember the question was, name 5 things, characteristics, behaviors, whatever, that you despise in another human being. Okay, so I listed my 5. Next question was, go through those 5 behaviors and characteristics, and do you have you ever at any point in your life ever exhibited those characteristics and traits? And yeah, every single one of them. So that was like really eye-opening for me. It was shocking. It was just really eye-opening. So then once I found out that, I started being able to uncover the triggers, right, that came with those. A lot of times, if, say for instance, we are triggered or made to feel uncomfortable by what another person is saying to us or to someone else, right? Sometimes the reason why we can be triggered by that is because of we also have those same behaviors and traits. So sometimes, like, an example could be where you might judge someone, very quick to judge another person, stranger or not, but very kind of quick to judge them because you feel like, well, if I can judge them real quick, then they can't judge me. Let me get them to the punch, right? Beat them to the punch, kind of thing. And that's the shadow. That's our shadow being triggered. Okay. So, hold on. Okay, guys, sorry. One of my kitty cats was at the window and it distracted me, so I had to go let him in real quick. Okay, so back to where we were. I totally forgot where we were. It happens. Well, anyway, so what I just wanted to get on here and just kind of explain, what shadow work is, okay? I feel like, it's a major part, of our own responsibility, like I said earlier, to heal ourselves. And then, once we heal ourselves, we can start healing collectively, because our shadow causes so much just hatred, hatred for ourselves, hatred for the next person that we know, that we don't know, it has so many benefits. And I know a lot of people can be really, intimidated to do shadow work, because it's exploring parts of yourself that you've wanted to hide, right? But for me, since I started, a year ago on it, it's changed my life. It helped empower me. It helped me gain my confidence. It helped me just start making better decisions. And now, whenever, because look, I can still be triggered. My kids arguing triggers me because, for me, growing up, I was an only child, spent a lot of time by myself, and alone, and so there wasn't arguing. And if there was, it always made me extremely uncomfortable, so that's one thing that can still trigger me now, even. And it's something that I have to continue to work through, right? But the thing of it is that it helps us to bring our shadow side and our light and dark into balance, because we can't be a balanced person or a balanced human if we are suppressing one side of us, because we are light and dark. Okay, we are two you can't have light without dark, and you can't have dark without light, right? So yeah, so I was going to share with you guys some journal prompts, okay? And also, that's, I know a lot of people kind of, feel like they don't have time to meditate or anything like that. And I get it. I promise you, if you can find a stillness in yourself, it's worth it. It's worth carving out that little, that time, to do, okay? I always say to myself, I deserve peace to ensure my mental well-being, and that is how I find my peace, is by meditating. Okay, so some journal prompts is what I was wanting to. Where is my notebook? Okay, here it is. Okay, I was going to pull a couple tarot cards too, just to kind of, energy, whatever. But I don't know if I'm going to, because I think I hear the baby waking up from his nap. So, okay, so a couple journal prompts, which you can find on Google too. Also, Amazon has like a shadow workbook. Okay. I had bought a couple. I have a couple of them, and they're cheap. They're only like $6, but it's just journal prompts. But just being able, like I was going to say, if I know a lot of people are kind of, I can't meditate, don't know how, don't have time, things like that, then journal. Journaling is a form of release, and also it is a form of meditation, because you're concentrating, okay? You're focusing your attention to something, okay? So some journal prompts for shadow work is think of someone that triggers you, okay? And what is it about them that you don't like? Just like I was saying earlier, like the 5 characteristics and behaviors of others that I didn't like, I named those, and that could be one as well, which, and then the next one is, do I have those same traits and behaviors? Okay. Once you know your shadow, and once you can learn your triggers, you can start confronting those, okay? And this video right here is just going to be like something kind of just quick, just to kind of explain like what shadow work is. I do want to come out with a video of more like of us kind of going through the motions kind of together, because it can be scary, it can be very scary, but that way you guys can just kind of you hear that? It's my little one. He's up. So, but I'm going to make some other videos too, like kind of going more in depth into each kind of thing. But also you can do your own research too. All you have to do is just Google. It is, it's out there. But the benefits are just, like I said, self-empowering, making better choices, healing addictions, healing past traumas. And shadow work also can help heal childhood traumas, okay? That was a big one for me. I was a people pleaser. Like, here's an example for me. I was a people pleaser all my life, because I kept thinking that if I said no to someone, then they wouldn't like me, or they wouldn't love me. Or if I didn't do what they wanted me to do, then they wouldn't like me or wouldn't love me. And that was something, I people pleased till all my life. It was all my life till I was blue in the face. And then finally I realized I'm pleasing people at the detriment of myself, I'm the one that's not pleased at all. And the thing of it is, no matter how much I would give to whomever, they still wouldn't be pleased. But I would, you know what I mean? So that's one that I really had to work on, and this really helped me to release those fears, that fear of abandonment or fear of not being loved, whatever, things like that. So that was just an example, okay? But yeah, so once you know your triggers, then you can start confronting them, okay? And then you can start releasing them. And you can do this with positive affirmations, which I am, super big on affirmations. I do them every day. Me and my girls do them in the morning before school. Like it helps us to talk to ourselves in the way that we would a very dear friend or family member, right? We're not going to put down a very dear friend or family member and tell them how bad they are and how stupid and how ugly and how, all that. So, but we do that to ourselves, right? So shadow work can help us to release, that kind of, that, negative talk, self-talk, because that's our ego. Okay, that's our ego trying to protect us and tell us, so that we don't feel as bad, and it's crazy. But with the positive affirmations, you can use and say, like, two of mine always were, I allow the darkest shadow that was buried within me to be released. Okay, I allow the darkest shadow that was buried inside of me to be released. And then also, I release fear, I release shame, I release doubt, and I release insecurity. Okay, so yeah, guys. Okay. If anybody has like any questions or anything, you can always message me. But like I said, I am going to try to come out with a couple more videos, kind of that, so that we can maybe go through the motions a little bit together. Okay. And kind of, I also wanted to tell you, you don't have to do a big, timeout or anything like that. Literally, if you can just 5 minutes a day, 5 or 10 minutes a day, go into the bathroom. That's what I used to have to do, was go into the bathroom, lock the doors, and light a candle, have my crystal of choice, and I would sit there and I would just it was called the Vegas breathing technique. I almost did a video on this actually last night. I think I'm still going to, though. But it's where you inhale through your nose for 4 seconds, hold for 6, and then release, exhale for 8. And this stimulates our vagus nerve. And so if you watched my chakra energy center, our energy center in our bodies, if you watch that video that I put out a couple days ago, the vagus nerve stimulate. Okay, so anyway, just go watch that. But yeah, the breathing, if you can just sit, look at me, I'm getting sidetracked. Sorry. So if you can just sit in a room, lock the door, 5-10 minutes a day, light a candle. If you don't have a crystal, don't worry about it. You don't have to have anything. You don't have to have a candle. You don't have to have a journal. But I highly recommend one, okay? Actually, yeah, a journal you do kind of need. You need a pen and paper, okay? And then after, after kind of documenting, your journey through this, and then also too, I did want to say that once you find your triggers and your shadow, then you can write that down, and then you can rip it up. You can I like to catch shit on fire. So I catch it on fire and throw it in a little, chalice of water. But you can do any of those to try to release, okay, your shadow. Damn, there was something else I was wanting to tell you on. I got totally sidetracked. My bad. It happens. Anyway, guys, please go over to my channel, Dark Side of the Moon Healing, on YouTube. Subscribe. I have tarot readings over there. I have little shorts like about moon water and diffuser, and I'm going to be coming out with some more stuff like about this shadow work, meditation, breathing techniques, okay, where hopefully I can bring a little bit of peace into y'all's life. We all need our peace, right? So, all right guys, that's it. All right, peace out.